Hi everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Palantir has disclosed a new AIP deal, and it's not with the typical clients we see in these PRs. So I'll go over the deal itself, but more importantly, what makes it a little different. So CAS Investments, a Houston-based asset manager, is taking the plunge with Palantir at a long 5-year AIP deal. We don't typically see asset manager customers for Palantir, let alone having it released in a PR. So stats-wise, CAZ is a very small investment firm that manages around $4 billion in assets, but has been around for a long time at more than 20 years. Now, in the PR itself, this is a long deal of 5 years, meaning that they are basically committing very strongly to AIP, which means they probably have already went through a trial period and have gotten to see the value for themselves on how AI can be very helpful to them. Now, and for the kind of work that they're doing, I'm not surprised that they'll be using Palantir to accelerate things like helping their investment managers with their work when it comes to identifying and recommending investment opportunities. But the key here is that they are looking for differentiated investment advice to be generated from this technology. So I do want to point out they believe AI gives them an edge here. So just remember that for a second here, and I'll talk about why that's so important later on. But what I like the most about this PR is that they give out some quantitative metric, at least, that they're analyzing around 1,500 deals in a year, where they're only investing in around 10 to 12 typically. And that doesn't seem that off, honestly, because you really want quality investments, even though you have to go through a lot to see them. So if AI can accelerate this process by speeding up the analysis, let's say, where they can review more deals, or they're able to refine to the deal's much better quality, then that would be a huge win for the firm and their clients. So it doesn't necessarily mean they need to invest in more deals, but if they can find them better and get a better entry point, that will ultimately compound into more returns over time and possibly attract more clients. And remember, they're doing private deals too, so it's not like they're just looking at SEC filings or publicly traded firms. They can be gathering research and data all over the place here, where they really just want to get the edge. And Palantir's products can showcase the power of pulling in third-party data from many different sources to build up the picture of these private opportunities. We did see that at AIP Con with Centra. So in the end, more information can give their firm better leverage when it comes to making a deal with someone after they've actually found it. So what I think is unique about this asset management firm too is being released in a press release is that their business gives a rough scorecard for Palantir's performance. So I'm not saying it's perfect here, but people can talk about streamlining efficiencies in a factory per se, or the cost savings that you're getting in your supply chain. But when it can be muddled by other functions like R&D or administration also, it makes it a bit more difficult with the noise to see performance here. But when you have a firm whose main goal, at least for the uses of just technology, is to maximize returns for their investors and of course be efficient about it, it can give a much clearer picture or scorecard, for example, if they were to update this About Us section in the future, in a few years maybe, with higher numbers. Now, I'm not saying it's fully Palantir's doing, but of course they're using it to augment the business that they mainly do. But back to why I think this is differentiated advice is very important for this firm and of course AI overall. So differentiated advice right now, I believe, is the edge that artificial intelligence can provide for these finance communities. But once we see the number of these kind of firms increasing their usage of AI or just AIP, the edge becomes smaller and smaller, and then it technically becomes the only way to at least participate in the game. So it becomes a minimum to even just compete. Now, as a smaller firm, CAZ Investments can integrate AIP into their process probably much easier and quicker than, say, a larger asset manager. But over time, if we start to see more of these kind of clients disclose, it can just become a part of the everyday needs of a firm to even get started. So if someone is analyzing thousands of more deals a year because AI is recommending only the best while looking at all the opportunities, then it's a no-brainer for others to jump on that. So if they use AIP, I'm not sure, but some sort of artificial intelligence in order to go through the thousands of possibilities and to tie in all the different data, especially for things that are for private deals. But that's just my speculation there, and we'll see over time if that plays out over the next few years. But what are your thoughts though on this long new AIP deal with an asset manager? Thank you all for watching and my channel members, and I'll see you in the next video.